Hello and welcome to this Bath Spa University graduation ceremony. My name is David Newman, I'm the University Secretary, and it's my great pleasure to be here today to guide you through the ceremony and to join you graduates as you celebrate with your guests on this very special occasion. Well done for making it to this moment. I congratulate you. So I'll shortly run through the order of today's ceremony so that everyone knows what to expect over the next hour or so. But before that, just a few quick housekeeping points, if I may, to make sure everyone knows what they're doing for your safety and your comfort. So firstly, some of the obvious things, if I may, please. Can I ask that everyone checks their mobile phones to ensure that they're set to silent or switched off, just to avoid any unintended interruptions? And secondly, we do have trained first aid staff available, so in the unlikely event that you do require any assistance, please attract any member of the team who will be happy to help. And finally, by way of housekeeping, in the unlikely event of us needing to evacuate for any reason, there'll be a clear announcement instructing you to do so, and you'll be guided to the nearest exit. So with those formalities out of the way, perhaps I can start now by saying a little bit more about what to expect for the main event today. So in a few moments' time, the academic procession will enter the auditorium, making their way down here to the platform, and I'll be inviting you all to stand, if you're able to, when they enter. So the procession, as you might expect, is a very grand and colourful spectacle that has origins deep in medieval ecclesiastical tradition. And academic staff wear the colours that represent their most recent awarding institution in the same way that I do today and that you as graduates of Bath Spa also do. So once on the stage, graduates, the Chancellor and the Vice-Chancellor will be the first people to take their seats, and you'll be able to identify them as they're the most colourful robed individuals sat in the front row on the platform. And so once they've taken their seats, please take yours. Firstly, there'll be a welcome speech, which will be followed by the conferment of awards to our graduates. And then graduates, you'll be asked to stand row by row, one at a time, and guided down the right-hand channel to the stage as you make your way here. You may already realise that you are seated in a very deliberate order, and this matches the order of the readers' list. So please keep to your place as you make your way to the stage. So it's a fairly safe bet if you just follow the person in front of you, so no pressure. Your name will be read out by our reader who will stand at this lectern, at which point you move across the stage in whichever style befits. Do make sure that you give your loved ones a wave if so inclined. And the Chancellor will be standing in the middle of the stage ready to receive you. Congratulatory handshakes are welcome if you wish, but they're not compulsory. Either way, please do acknowledge the Chancellor on your way across, perhaps with a nod or your best smile, which I'm sure she'll appreciate. Please keep to this very lovely blue carpet that we've got laid out here for you across the stage, and that will take you across to the steps the other side, and you'll be guided by one of the team back to your seat. At the conclusion of today's ceremony, the academic procession will make its way back through the auditorium, and my colleagues will then guide all graduates out safely, again row by row, as part of our graduate procession. And we ask that everyone else stay in their places in order to applaud the graduates out. Everyone's very welcome and encouraged to join us at our post-graduation celebration festival that we're calling Gradstock at the Bath Rec, which is a recreation ground just across the river here in the city centre, and there'll be a school-specific area for you to meet up with your friends and academics from your course. Now, graduates, today is about celebrating your success. I congratulate you and hope that you very much enjoy the day. Now, if everyone would like to stand, we'll welcome the academic procession. Distinguished guests, graduates, colleagues, and everyone here today, I call upon the Vice-Chancellor of Bath Spa University, Professor Sue Rigby, to open this graduation ceremony.
Welcome, everybody. So, friends and guests, graduands, colleagues, a very warm welcome to our Bath Spa University summer graduations. And colleagues, please feel free to remove your hats. And for everyone else, I'm sorry it's so warm, but at least you're not wearing a 1970s curtain. So welcome to our ceremony, your ceremony, and this celebration of your fantastic achievements in successfully completing your school-centred initial teacher training. Welcome also to the forum, this amazing venue, run by the most professional of good friends to Bath Spa University. And an early shout out to all of the staff around the forum today who've helped to get you seated, to get your gowns perfect and so on. Almost all of them are Bath Spa people, many of them you'll recognise, and they're all here to celebrate with you today. Because celebrate is what we're here to do. And also to take a moment to consider what your degree means and what you can and perhaps should do with it. Successfully completing a skip marks you out, personally and within society. You've taken the decision that you're ready to commit to becoming a teacher, and you've followed through on that commitment, whatever the challenges you faced. It's a huge personal achievement. It's a permanent mark of the status that comes from that achievement. And it is, I think, also a moment when what you are receiving is something that enriches society more widely and which carries with it the burden and privilege of enhanced expectations. So to begin, a moment to think about your achievement. These postgraduate awards are hard work, especially when you're teaching for so much of the time. You'll have been uncertain. Think back to your first assignment, first lesson. You'll have been confused and frustrated as you struggled to understand what good and then brilliant meant in this new context. You'd have been stressed, too much asked of you in too short a time. And occasionally, you'll have been elated by a really good mark, an eye-opening seminar, by a sudden and personal moment of insight. And one other thing, learning is not linear. It's a series of steps, frustrating before they're taken, forgotten after, but in the moment, a change in how clearly you're able to think and to articulate that thinking. Aggregated together, it's these transformational moments that comprise the real value of your qualification. Don't forget how they felt or how they added up to develop your capabilities. And you've also done this through the most severe cost of living crisis this century. This does not make you victims, but perhaps it makes you supers. You may remember a very famous pair of dancers from the last century, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Someone once asked Ginger what it was like partnering the best dancer in the world, to which she replied that everything he did, she did backwards and in high heels. You are Ginger Rogers, and other graduates from other years will aspire to and be very proud to be Fred Astaire's. So just take a moment to think about this last year, the highs and the lows, the really fantastic moments, the really dreary moments, and all of that journey, because once you're through these doors today, all of that will be behind you. But just for this moment, just have a last think about that trip that you've taken to bring you here today. So obviously I leave that longer if it's a 3-year qualification, but you've done your bit. Looking back, I'm sure you'll be absolutely clear about the critical part that the support of your friends and family has had in helping you to get here today. Many of these vital people are here with you now, and be sure the rest are thinking about you with great affection and pride today. In a moment, I'd like to ask you to stand up, to turn to face your supporters in the auditorium, and to give them an enormous round of applause, both for the people in person and those who are thinking about you from somewhere else. So if I could ask you to stand up, turn to face your supporters, and give them a rousing round of applause. always tempting to take one chair away while that's happening. So no need to stand for this one, but can I also ask you to join me in thanking those staff who've taught you and supported you in other ways through your studies. It has been the highlight of my career to work with the staff at Bath Spa University, admiring and respecting their scholarship and commitment, seeing their tenacity and brilliance, sharing moments of sadness and laughter. Can I ask you to thank them with me now? Now I want to take a few moments to think about what your qualification comprises. Subject knowledge, for sure, but knowledge is transient. To be honest, you're going to forget most of what you've learned over the last 12 months. And by the time you've been teaching for a decade, it'll all be old hat and there'll be a new theory to tell you what to do. So, sorry. It's all right for me because I'm a paleontologist, so what I know never goes out of date. But for some of our students who do things like cybersecurity, we have to graduate them really quickly so the degree is still current as they move across the stage. So if it's not knowledge, what is it? Skills. You can do things that only a tiny minority of people can do. Educating through enthusiasm, expertise and leadership through a demanding and rewarding career. And this may well be where your personal journey begins. But a SCIT qualification is much more than that. It's the means by which you've learned to be resilient, to be resourceful, to lead, sometimes to actively follow, to be sure of your own capabilities, to be able to tackle profound challenges. A Bath Spa Award has enabled you to build your confidence. You know how much you can achieve. Never forget that. It's built your curiosity about people, about art and culture, about the future, about the world you inhabit. It's built your creativity, your ability to think outside the box, to ask the right questions, and to answer them in a way that makes a difference. As you walk across the stage in a few minutes, you should take stock of all of this, own it, internalize it, and become it. It's a walk of a few steps from the end of your studies to the start of your graduate life, but it's a profound transition. It's a permanent change. And you start this journey by leaving us. So this is a high point in the university calendar, a day of great joy, but also of great sadness. Because a university is a community of learners, centred on the university buildings or dispersed across schools throughout the region. It's that quality of learning and the ability to open our minds that creates a university. And your contribution to that has been incredible. While we'd have it no other way than that you graduate from our world and move on, you'll leave a big gap, and we are very sorry to say goodbye. But keep in touch. You are always part of the Bath Spa community. If we can help you in any way in your future, just let us know, and we'd love to hear about your successes and stories in the years to come. And this is a community that you can be really proud of. Our roots stretch deep, back into the 1850s, and since that time, some of Britain's finest artists and teachers have worked with us. We don't know of a single school from here to the bottom of the peninsula that doesn't have at least one of our students teaching in it. We are the centre of teaching excellence in this part of the world. But we are also a university of the 21st century, designed to meet the challenges of a post-industrial, highly volatile and rapidly changing world. So finally, I want to think what your qualification means to the rest of us, to the wider society that now benefits from what you can do. You graduate into uncertain times with an academic armoury that will allow you to thrive and which can contribute to helping others to thrive as well. A qualification in education is a very special thing. The future of all of us lies in your hands, through your ability to inspire and influence learners, the leaders of the future. A young person's experience in school will condition their life chances and expectations. The heaviest weight is placed on you in taking on that challenge, and I know you'll rise to the challenge because of who you are and because of the calibre of the people who've taught you. You are vital to our individual and collective well-being, and you will create the spaces for people and society to think about and to address the wicked problems of the age. Success for you may be on a truly global scale or a more local one, within a small group of valued family and friends. Wherever you go, you will make a difference, and that is vital. From here on, remember, there's no endpoint assessment, no grading for your work, only that still feeling of confidence when you take the right career paths and make the right decisions. But if I had to choose a set of people to make change and to make things better, it would be you, our graduates. And just now, I can ask no less of you than that you thrive in your life journeys, that you make a difference, and that in doing so, piece by piece, you change everything. You have the rest of your life to spend, and I will be delighted to watch as you spend it wisely and for the benefit of others in these unprecedented times. So well done, graduates. Have a great day. You've earned it, and I congratulate you. Well done.
We now move to the presentation of awards to graduates of Bath Spa University, and I call upon our newly appointed Chancellor, Shiranjit Lail, to receive graduates from the School of Education.
Chancellor, I present the following candidates for the award of Postgraduate Certificate in Primary Education through school-centred initial teacher training. From Buckingham Partnership, Cassandra Nicole Gabrielle Charles. Louise Elizabeth Fenton. Bethany Yvette Gibbons. Anushka Marietta Holland. Upkar Kaur. Leanne Marie Meddings. From Cornwall Skit, Adam Baker Hale. Noah Matthew Barco. Gemma Zoe Barker. Rebecca Louise Biddle. Erin May Bingham. Genevieve Rosa French. Alice Hannah Grayburn. Lauren Greenslade. Bethany J. Hampton. Sam Oliver Harris. Claire Uzella Kemp. Ailish Grace Kimberley. Jade Norma Moyne. Hannah Jane Tonkin. From Hamwick Partnership, Ben Finley Bridge. Hamdi Kabdalahi. Daniel James Hiscock. Duncan Fraser Smith. From Kingsbridge Partnership, Finton Ron Cleary. Rachel Cunningham. From North Wiltshire Skit, Nicola Joanne Black. Helena Javier Diaz Butcher. Rihanna Jo Drake. Liam John Habits. Lacey Jane Lewis. Katie Georgina Jane Moore. Daisy Alice Olliett. Heather Peel. Marie Plakin. Emily Presdy. Kate Spring. Jennifer Ann Stratford. Kirsty Kathleen Webster May. Stephen David White. Georgia Wing. Joanna Michelle Woodhouse. From Southwest Teacher Training, Emily May Bristol. Hayley Louise Bryant. Heather Elizabeth Dennis. Galissa Karaman. Sandra Jeanette Fifield. Alina Hassan. Bill Hughes. Elizabeth Mitchell-Jones. Beatrice Knights. Daisy Rawle Lee Parker. Alice May Anthony. Olivia Catherine McEwen. Victoria Louise Muir. Freya Lily Ramsdale. Jordan Cameron Richards. Lauren Jade Saunders. Jessica Marie Stevens. Rebecca Ashley Stockton Ball. Chelsea Jane Taylor. Hannah Louise Thompson. Christina Ubitsa Valerie Topic. Shelby Lynn West. Maisie Georgia Wright. From Stourport Partnership, Zoe Marie Willits. Chancellor, I present the following candidates for the award of postgraduate certificate in secondary education through school-centred initial teacher training. From Buckingham Partnership, Charlotte Emily Crowson. Jessica Louise Dark. Daniel Sean Flanagan. Olivia Rose Gaynard. Beatrice May Gunn. Stephanie Lewis. Annie Rebecca Lovett. Benjamin Martin Mackey. Joshua Mark Pascoe. Amelia Grace Strath. Pauline Yvonne Suzanne Thevenet. Emma Windett. Chancellor, I present the following candidates for the award of Graduate Certificate in Secondary Education Practice. From North Wiltshire Skit, Amy Curtis. Chancellor, I present the following candidate for the award of Professional Graduate Certificate in Secondary Education through School-Centred Initial Teacher Training. From Cornwall Skit, Emma Catherine Westlake. Chancellor, I present the following candidates for the award of Postgraduate Certificate in Secondary Education through School-Centred Initial Teacher Training. From Cornwall Skit, Callum Joseph Chappell. Danielle Anna Davies. Henry Owen Gwyn Thomas. Liberty Jemima Hartley. Carl Stephen Hughes. Morwenna Neve Liston. Marion Odette Monnier. Alan John Neve. Robert Edward Ross. Amelia Grace Ryan. Harry George Smith. Torin Matthew Trevethick Beckerleg. From Eye2Eye Teaching Partnership, Macy Beth Adams. Emily Elizabeth Anscombe. Hope Alicia Anson. Monica Ixchel Arteaga Gonzalez. Megan Iris Berg. Robert Alfred Ernest Bloomfield. Kirsten Wilson Birmingham. Frances Jane Cotter. Alberto de la Guardia Garcia. Hannah Daisy Dobson. Jessie Elizabeth Durrant. Abigail Harriet Winfield Edge. Stuart Andrew Farquharson Roberts. Gregory Kieran Flynn. Annie Charlotte Gooderham. Chloe Noemi Cormos. Georgiana Olivia Lindsay. Mahmouda Beza. Emily Pauline Young. Serene Zadi. From Kingsbridge Partnership, Libby May Byrne. Deborah Julie Gilpin. Sana Ismail Varaji. From Mid Somerset Consortium, Zoe Emily Adams. Alexander Edward Chase. Laura Kostovska. Jaron Lang. Anna Louise Phillips. Molly Prentice. Alice Ralph. Oliver Anthony Shaw. Esther May Stone. Luke Winston. From Southwest Teacher Training, Georgia Leanne Baker. Aisha Butt. Emmy Victoria Carter. Luke Michael Dunn. Alistair Richard Ganley. Maisie Jane Greedy. Faye Stephanie Hamilton. Lillian Hope Howard. Zinat Koestani. Jessica Amy Marsh. Kit Juno Morgan. Shivam Patel. Lucy Valerie Sophie Pupin. Thomas Jake Putt. Charlotte Rutherwood. Kate Alicia Saunders. Jessica Ellen Smith. Vlad Dumitru Tipu. Katie Lauren Townsend. Rebecca Louise Turton. James Louis Van Cady. Chloe Van Rappenbush. From Stourport Partnership, Isabel Clara Duke. Chloe Louise Elms. Courtney Pitt. Chris Trino. Isabel White. Gareth Kevin Wide. From Wessex School Training Partnership, Jasmine Begum. Liam Andrew Bolter. Katie Elizabeth Dimesh. Freya Elphick Webb. Luke Ferguson. Chloe Laura Gilbertson. Ben Charles Griffiths Hammond. Amy Victoria Holland. Matthew John Lay. Hannah Jane Martin. Lauren Katrina Pounds. Amelia Georgia Lily Smythe. Whitmarsh Bauer. From North Wiltshire Skit, Catherine, thank you. Catherine Frances Nikapulu Clark. Georgina Curry. Yasmin Louise Dean. Becky Flint. Sophie Louise Noel Johnson. Ellie Scott. Jack Thomas Starkey. Samuel Robert Webb. Lucy Ann Wootton.
Chancellor, in addition to those candidates presented to you, I commend to you the other candidates listed here but in absentia for conferment of their various awards.
By my authority as Chancellor of Bath Spa University, I confer the awards to those wonderful candidates I've just shook hands with here present, and those in absentia. Graduates, you may now take off your hats or fling them up in the air in joy. Well done.
I now invite the Chancellor to provide her closing remarks.
I know I stand between you and celebration and Gradstock. I'm told it's a great party, the festival of graduation, but I am the new Chancellor, so I have to deliver a speech. So thank you all. Vice-Chancellor, esteemed faculty, proud families, graduates of the class of 2024 and future educators, this day is yours. How wonderful. Now, as you sit in your caps and gowns, all looking resplendent, take a look at the person seated next to you and just humour me a little bit more with the clapping and the whooping, because I would like you to give a big round of applause to the person sitting next to you. Because today is their day, but today is also your day. It's a day of celebration, a day really to reflect on your shared achievement. And what an achievement it's been. You have worked so hard and you truly deserve it. And today, as you leave the forum, you will start your journey on a new path, a path that could take you in many different directions to a world that is frankly whatever you choose to make of it. But I hope you will choose to make it a better, more compassionate and inspired place, a place where holding up the person next to you, lifting others along the way, creates a community that is at its core kind. Because in these stricken times of war and political polarization, it's more important now than ever. Feeling valued and included eradicates all the differences between us, and your success will be richer and more meaningful when it's shared with others. It'll help foster what Bath Spa University is best at. We are the top UK university for social inclusion. And you may have noticed my robes. They're rather unusual. I know everyone's got beautiful robes up here on stage, but these were specially designed by a student from Bath Spa University, just like many of yourselves, Daisy Jackson, and she worked very hard alongside Eloise Atwell, who is a Bath Spa alumni. She tailored it. I also want to thank BSU's Rachel Evans and Professor Kristin Dawn for ensuring it was ready in time for all of you today. Now, this robe contains many motifs and really just beautiful fabric that reflects my heritage. I grew up in Singapore, but I am Indian by heritage. So there's Indian sari fabric, and there is also batik, which is a type of fabric that was developed in Indonesia many centuries ago and is popular in Singapore, where I'm from. And of course, the wool was sourced right here in Somerset. So truly, this is a garment that reflects us all. It's so diverse and so wonderful, truly reflecting the university. So really, this readiness to embrace our differences is what sets this university apart. It's a trait that I hope you will take with you once you leave BSU, recognizing and celebrating the strengths and differences that make us all unique, but within that, the ability to contribute to a larger cause. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I telling you all of this? What do I know? Because unlike Sue Rigby and the other extraordinary educators here, and of course the educators that you will go on to become, I am not an academic. I've spent the last 25 years as a broadcast journalist, mainly on BBC World News. So what nuggets of wisdom can I possibly impart to you today? Well, I've thought hard about it. I've had some amazing experiences at BBC World News, interviewing heads of state, such as Canada's Justin Trudeau, New Zealand's Jacinda Ardern, successful business leaders like Sir Richard Branson, also lots of creative individuals, amazing people that you watch on stage and screen, Sir Ian McKellen, Juliette Binoche, Spike Lee, Bollywood's Priyanka Chopra and Aishwarya Rai, and China's Jet Li and Zhang Ziyi. And even after leaving the BBC, I continue to have this amazing privilege to spend time with and interview such legendary sports people like Roger Federer. And in a few weeks, I will get a chance to meet and interview the most extraordinary person, the youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate, Malala Yousafzai, who was a young girl shot for daring to get an education in Pakistan. So what these experiences have taught me is to never waste an opportunity. While I've worked very hard to get to this position, I know I'm incredibly lucky and privileged to meet these extraordinary people. And how do I prepare? Well, I do exactly what you've done over the last few years. I study, I SWOT, and I prepare as much as I can for these amazing sessions. I also know I may never get a chance to talk to them again. So never waste an opportunity to make an impression. Do the best that you can at anything that you're faced with once you leave the safe confines of Bath Spa University. Embrace opportunities for all that they're worth. This year, I also take on a new role as Chancellor of your amazing institution, speaking to you all for really the first time. I didn't know the first thing about being a Chancellor, but I said yes. Because again, this was this remarkable opportunity to be with all of you on your very, very special day. And of course, to be at such a turning point in your lives and to see how you will grow in a few short years because of the experiences and the education that you've received here. It's also my responsibility at this point to say, well, it's not all going to go smoothly because the journey ahead will not always be easy. There will be moments of doubt and setbacks, but remember that every challenge is an opportunity in disguise, a chance to grow and learn and become stronger. So embrace each moment, both the triumphs and the trials, for they will shape you into the change makers, the leaders, the educators of tomorrow. So as you leave the ceremony today, take with you the knowledge that you are part of a global community. One that, of course, we all acknowledge right now is a bit of a mess. There's war, there's political, economic, and social strife, but one that you all have a pivotal role to shape, and to shape it for the better, particularly as educators for the next generation. As Nelson Mandela famously said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. And at this point, I want to congratulate and thank one particular special educator amongst us, the Vice-Chancellor of Bath Spa University, Sue Rigby, for her amazing years of service here. She has done an extraordinary job. Please give her a big round of applause. Thank you, Sue, for all that you've done. So once again, congratulations, class of 2024. Take what you've learned here and continue to learn as you go. Seize the opportunities before you with creativity, confidence, and curiosity. Go out there, make a difference. Bath is waiting for you. The world is waiting for you. Well done.
Thank you, Chancellor. They're only being nice to me because I'm leaving. I'd like to send you on your way into those glorious futures and more immediately into Gradstock with an Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may your God hold you in the palm of his hand. I declare this ceremony closed.
Please may I invite you to stand for the exit of the academic procession.